All right, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that like button. Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. I said a check 1 2 1 2 1 2. I said a check 1 2 1 2 1 2. I said a check 1 2 1 2 1 2. What up, everybody? It's your man RTP Skull Gang in the building. You know what time it is. It's been a minute, hasn't it? It's been a minute. We here. We back. We got some interesting news. Or I shouldn't say news per se. It's interesting situation going on right now. And you know, if I'm talking about it, then it's real. If I'm talking about it, then it's real. As it should be. So let's get into it. Um the title of this live stream is, should the Bucs pay Baker or Wilson? That is the title of this video. Short, sweet. Do me a favor, if you haven't yet, go ahead, hit that like button for the boy. Show some love for the channel. You know I don't stream a lot like I used to. I got out of rehab, Buccaneers rehab, and I think I might be a little cured. I told you guys I wasn't gonna come on here unless one, Kyle Trask is playing quarterback. I might live stream if Kyle Trask is playing quarterback. Or two, some news or something happens that we need to talk about. And some stuff has happened that we need to talk about. Or playoffs. I'll obviously I'm gonna be on here for, well, maybe not. I don't know. I will say this. Half of the reasons why I don't want to come on here, and it sounds like I'm only going to come on here if Kyle Trask, it sounds like I'm mad that Baker's starting for us. That's not why I'm not streaming. It's because when I was mad that nothing was going to change, and then I stopped streaming, and then Baker and the Tampa Bay kind of been on a roll. And if you guys don't know about me, I'm very superstitious when it comes to the Bucs. So because I haven't been streaming while the game's going, and we've been winning while I haven't been streaming while the game's going, I just haven't, I've been wanting to, but I'm not going to, because we're on a roll. Now, if we continue to, which it might look like it, if we continue to go on a roll and whip the crap out of the Saints, and then we do what we do with the Panthers, then I might have to not, even in the playoffs, not record while the game's going. I'm superstitious. That's just all that it is. That's the main part. But anyways, getting off of the subject, let's see who's in the building real quick. We got Professor X in the building saying, what it do, RTP Skull Gang in the building. 10-7 looking a lot more realistic now, baby. Bucs for life. I'm probably gonna be out in Vegas around February. If you want to link up, we can talk about the new co-host. Nice. Big Bake is putting up numbers.
It fires me up, man.
Putting up numbers, so I think he at least deserves a 1 to 2 year. T Money in the building. Hard to show fake love to Baker Mayfield. The new Bucs franchise quarterback. Hard to show fake love to Baker Mayfield, the new Bucs franchise. Contract so we can look in the draft and free agents. Okay, so we're gonna get into it. So this is called, should we pay Baker? Should we pay Russell Wilson? Now, Some people, well, let me not say some people. I would say Buck fans for the most part. Buck fans are like, if you see the post that I posted on Twitter, you're gonna see a whole bunch of no, stay with stay with Baker. Baker's our guy. Baker. Right? It is what it is. I want to start off this conversation by first saying, does Baker deserve a contract? Yes. The answer is yes. Baker deserves a contract. He's did good for the team. We're hopefully going to be 10-7 at when this is all said and done. He's played decent this year. He's played his best ball. Um, so yes, the answer is yes. Baker deserves a contract. Does he deserve a contract from us? Once again, the answer is yes. I think he deserves a contract from us. The problem that I have is where we get into the 3-year contract. Now, obviously, it depends on how we do that 3-year contract. I don't want the reason why there's a problem because there could be messing, people don't understand why I would have a problem with even a 3-year contract, right? I think Baker should have a bridge quarterback type of contract, right? I think I would love if Baker just took the contract he just took, right? Which obviously he's not gonna do that. But I'm talking about when I don't mean money wise, I mean 1-year contract. I would love that from Baker to give us another 1-year contract. Now, obviously, that's not realistic. That's not gonna happen. I get it. He deserves for that to not be realistic. So I get that. Here's my thing. I said this before, and as Team Money said, show fake love. I haven't showed any fake love. I've praised him when it was time to praise him, and I've brought him down and brought Baker lovers down to reality when it was time to bring him down to reality. We had broken down. If you haven't seen, go back, watch the game film. We broke down the Baker Mayfield's um, game tape. We broke down Baker Mayfield's game tape of the what game was it? The Green Bay game. We went and we broke that down, as you can see right here. Uh Here we go right here. Let me see in the background. You see it right there. That's the name, film breakdown, right? Baker Mayfield's film breakdown. That's the Green Bay game right there. We went and we broke that game down. And I went into that film breakdown expecting to bring down Baker lovers. I went into that game film expecting to be like, see, bro, it ain't all that. Calm down. All you Baker guys, calm down. Yeah, it ain't all that. Whatever. I even say in the beginning, it's never as good as it looks. It's never as good as you thought, and it's never as bad as you thought. And I left that that Baker Mayfield film breakdown reeled all the way in. I left that that film breakdown, I wouldn't say being a believer in Baker, but once again having hope that Baker could be the guy for us. I left that film session very surprised, very like, man, like, first of all, that film breakdown was a perfect film breakdown to show everybody that I thought I was BSing on Baker or crapping on Baker or just hating on Baker. That film breakdown was the perfect breakdown to show you guys that one, I know what I'm talking about, and two, I was not hating on Baker because in that film breakdown, Baker was doing everything that I've been complaining about. He's been doing the things that I've been complaining about that he hasn't been doing. Everything that I'm like, Baker is not the quarterback because he can't do this. He doesn't do this. He's not doing that. He doesn't do this. Baker did all those things that I've been the reason why I've been saying Baker is not our franchise quarterback. That I don't believe in Baker. Is he playing good? Yes, he's playing good with the team. The team is better than people thought. I already told people that. I knew that. But Baker's playing good, but he's not pulling the Bucs along. We're not winning because of Baker. we're winning and Baker's coming along for the ride. But that Green Bay Packers game was a breakdown where I finally said, see, this is a quarterback that we are winning with. Baker is now a part of us winning. Rashad White, the O line, the wide receivers, Dave Canales is a big part of us winning. And now Baker has just entered the conversation in that Green Bay game. Now, again, I left that film breakdown game not believing in Baker, but now having hope that, okay, maybe Baker has finally turned that table. Maybe the light came on. Maybe he finally got comfortable in the system. Maybe he's finally confident in himself again. I don't know. I don't know what that Green Bay Packers game is, but I'll be positive about it and say maybe something good happened. Let's see what happens after that. Now, we had the Jaguars game after that. I was expecting Baker to throw some interceptions if he has that confidence in him, right? Because there was a lot of throws, a lot of scary throws in that Green Bay Packer game that I was like, this is the Baker that I want. Take those chances, have confidence that you can make that throw, make those throws. There's going to be hard throws that you're going to have to make. I want to see you be confident and take that chance and make those throws. And I said, if he does that in the Jaguars game, he's probably going to throw an interception, maybe two. But that's okay. I'll live with that because I want the confident Baker. I don't want the scary Baker. We didn't see that in the Jaguars game, unfortunately. We did not see that. He did almost throw some interceptions, but it wasn't because, he was confident, because we didn't see that same confident Baker in the Jaguars game. Again, that's not to say he was bad. He still played good. He still had good numbers, but it wasn't the same quarterback that we saw in Green Bay. It was the same, I'm going to make sure I take the easy stuff, the safer throws, all that stuff, which again, it's not a bad thing. The reason why it sounds like I act like it's a bad thing is because I know that when you get into the playoffs, you can't survive like that. The only way you can survive like that is if we have like the number one or number two or number three at most top rated defense. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have a D line good enough to be that type of defense where it's like we're just unstoppable defensively. We don't have a D line yet. We don't have a D line like that good enough yet. It might seem like that when we're able to blitz with Devin, but we don't really have that D line like that to be up there when you talk about defenses. So because of that, our offense has to take steps. Our offense, more specifically, our quarterback has to be able to challenge that defense across the field and be able to make those tough throws, be able to, make those, oh, that was a close call, but he got it because he's good enough to do it. So even though right now the safe throws and making sure I protect the ball and I'm not going to throw it unless it's wide open, Baker, that's good enough for us to win these games because we have a team good enough for that right now, that our whole team is clicking. We can beat the Jags. We can beat the Saints. We can beat the Panthers, and we can go through that with that. And I've said this many times. Even when I was at my lowest with Baker, I still said I still think we can win the division because the team is so good. And I believe in our coaches. But it's going to come a time where even against the Saints, right? We could lose. It's not a for sure that we're going to beat the Saints. I think we are going to beat the Saints. I think it's a good chance we're going to beat the Saints, but it's not a for sure because if the Saints play really good defense and we get that scared Baker and he's scared to let go of the ball, that's going to bring our offense down to the same level as their offense, and their offense is not that good. They have the same exact situation going on over there with Derek Carr. He's scared to throw the football. He's scared to make the big throw. He's scared to he's doing the same thing. They're in the same boat. So that's the problem that I'm having with Baker. Now, again, going through all that, if he, wins the division, that's great. Even maybe win, it'll be real tough for us to win the Dallas game or Philly game, whoever we play in the playoffs. For us to win that game, he has to be Green Bay Baker for us to win that game. Or we just really have to dominate defensively. One or the other. He either has to be Green Bay Baker Lombardi Baker, as I like to call him, Lombardi Baker, or we have to have crazy defense in the playoffs, one or the other, for us to have a chance of winning a playoff game. Anyways, because that's where I'm at right now. And again, maybe it changes. Maybe we do get Lombardi Baker in this Saints game. It could definitely happen. Maybe my point of view will change. I don't know. We'll see. But as of right now, because of where I see Baker at, and I see him going back to the regular Baker, um, it scares me to even give him a 3-year contract. Now, again, we could possibly give him a 3-year contract and it could be buns. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. It's not. I don't care about Baker being on the team. I don't care if Baker's on the team the next 10 years. That's not the problem that I, or not the problem, but the worry that I have with a Baker contract. I don't care about Baker himself being on this team. I would love for Baker to stay on this team and have him as an emergency break the glass quarterback. I would love that, right? And low key, I think there could be a small possibility of about that. I'll explain because we're going to talk about this a little bit more. Um, but my worries about the whole let's keep Baker is at what cost? That is my whole worry. At what cost? Does keeping Baker mean that we don't keep Evans? Because if that's the case, does it mean that we're not able to sign Devin? Because if that's the case, even though I have my own thoughts about Devin, and we have to have a whole nother live stream about that. But if that's the case, if keeping Devin is, we either keep or don't keep Devin is based on Baker's contract, being able to keep Chris Godwin, being able to, like, I do not want to lose anybody. If we're able to keep Baker and we're able to keep our pieces as well, then I have no problem. I really don't care. I don't care if we give Baker the bag. I don't. I don't care if we give Baker the bag. It is not my job to add up all the money, even though I try to. My whole thing is, as long as we can keep the players that we want to keep, and as long as it doesn't mess up the game plan. Because right now, I've said this before, this is the year where we're getting our contract situated. And after this year, next year going forward, we're going to be able to build our team the way everybody's been wanting to build our team, right? So we built our team where we had a whole bunch of talent, and then we just charged our credit card, and we said, let's take that chance, let's dive in, and let's go get that Super Bowl. And we went with Brady and Grunk and AB, and we went and we got that Super Bowl, right? Now, but we charged it all on a credit card, right? Now we're paying that credit card right now. Now what we're trying to do is we're trying to assess our bills. We're trying to keep all of our young talent, and we're trying to pay, and that way we're trying to do it in a way that every year when we lose somebody, we have somebody else. And whoever we want to pay, we can pay and we can keep, and we could just, good thing so and so's contract is over because now we can pay this person, and now we can give them a smaller contract, and then we could just do it and keep it going in a good. I'm kind of not explaining it good, but keep it going to where the meat of somebody's contract falls in the same year as the bones of somebody else's contract. And then when it's time to pay them, we can pay them because the next year, the guy that we were paying the meat of the contract, his contract is being paid. And now the next year it's just bones. And now we can pay this other guy. And we can just go hand over fist and keep paying the contracts that we want to pay. We're trying to set ourselves up in a very good situation to where we can pay everybody we want to pay and keep everybody, and keep the contracts front loaded, back loaded, front loaded, middle loaded, all in different times, so their contracts won't get in front of each other or fall at the same time and put us in cap hell, basically. As long as Baker's contract does not mess up that, which I don't think it will. I believe Jason Light has a plan. I'm usually 1,000% right on what Jason Light's thinking because the man thinks like me. And I don't believe Jason Light will do that. I do not believe that Jason Light will mess up the future for Baker. I think we will have a decent contract situation for Baker. Now, this brings me to the meat of this whole live stream. Should we pay Baker? Should it be Russ? I see Zach Jarvis in the building. Wirfs, Winfield, Evans, Baker is the top four people we are re-signing. I would take Baker out and put in Devin, man. I think Devin showed everybody, including me again, why he needs to be on the field. Now, again, should we pay Devin? Am I scared to pay Devin? I'm terrified to pay Devin. I am terrified to pay Devin. But again, that's another live stream. We don't need to get into that. And that will take all the cap space we have. If we can get out the Shaq Barrett contract, we can maybe keep Devin White, but I don't know if he will be back. That Shaq Barrett contract is horrible. Yeah, that will probably Shaq probably won't be back next year. Shaq probably won't be back next year. What was I gonna say? So this brings me to the meat and potatoes of this live stream, right? I just said Baker deserves a contract. It just, he doesn't deserve one of those franchise contracts. He don't deserve one. He doesn't even deserve a 3-year contract that's going to mess up our future again. And it ain't the years, the amount of years that we have Baker that I'm worried about. It's how much are we paying Baker that's going to allow us to be able to keep other people and pay other people in the offseason that we want to pay and bring in. That's what I am worried about. Now, with that said, right, I seen something on Twitter with people saying, it depends on Baker if Baker and his agent, right? Baker and his agent decide to ask for too much or decide to play the free agency and go out there. So here's the thing. Here's my thoughts on that. There's two things. One, I do not believe there will be a market for Baker Mayfield. I really don't. I do not believe there will be a market. I've been hearing a couple of different podcasts here and there talking about he should have, I think in Colin Hurd or whatever his name is, Colin on the Herd was saying there should be at least 10 teams wanting Baker. There'll be more teams wanting Baker than Justin Fields. I think that's false. I don't believe that at all. I don't think there is going to be a market for Baker Mayfield at all. I just don't. That's one. Number two, if Baker is smart, Baker would not want to go anywhere else but stay in Tampa. That's number two. And number three, if Baker wants to stay in Tampa, he better be smart enough to understand that his contract better allow enough money for us to bring back Evans for him. Because if not, what's the point of being here? What's the point of being here in Tampa if Evans isn't here? So your contract better say that there is enough money left for Evans, for us to sign Evans, for him to come back here. Because if Evans is not coming back, I mean, I would hate to see that Baker with no Mike Evans. So there's three things that are going for Jason Light, right? I don't think there's a market for Baker. So I don't think Baker could be able to be like, oh, I want this amount. Because Jason's going to be like, well, you know what? Go test the market, come back to me with some numbers. And I think if he does that, there's not going to be anybody that's going to try to get Baker. I don't think there's going to be anybody trying to get Baker. And two, Baker knows that he wants to be here. That's another little discount for Jason, saying, hey, I know you want to be here. This is the best spot for you. You know it's not easy. You know you can't just go to any team and look good. You know you need to be here with Mike Evans. That's another discount for Jason Light. And then another discount for Jason Light is what he just said. You need to be here with who? Mike Evans. We need to sign Mike Evans. Mike Evans needs to be a Bucs for life. Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer right now. We need to keep him. He deserves this amount of money. He's been doing this for us. We need to give Evans what he wants. So you need to give us a discount so we can give Evans what he wants. All those things are reasons why we should be able to get Baker for the low. And if we can't get Baker for the low, then guess what will happen? Let's go get Russell Wilson. Let's go get Russell Wilson. That is another discount. Well, hey, do what you got to do, Bake. I know we'll go get Russell Wilson, and we will get Russell Wilson for a super cheap discount. Super cheap discount. Now, here is the thing. It is crazy how Baker Mayfield can go through what he went through in Cleveland when everybody who's been watching Baker in Cleveland who was truthful has said the same thing, which is it's the team. The team is good. Baker's not dragging the team. The team is a good team. Good O-line, good defense, good run game. It's the team. Baker got a good team that he's with. That's why he's looking decent. That's why he was able to go to the playoffs, blah, 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 blah. Everybody who watched those Brown games with Baker knew it was the team. Baker goes anywhere else, he looks bad. Baker comes to the Buccaneers. What do I say? Baker should be fine because we have a good team. People are sleeping on the team. We have a good team. Now we're potential 10-7 team, and people are thinking it's Baker. It's not. It's the team. We have a good team. Meanwhile, people will sit there and still give Baker that chance. But Russ has 2 bad years. 2 bad years with a Broncos team of a terrible head coach, for one. Then another Broncos team with a good head coach who still the team don't look good. And Russ is actually doing his part. And the rest of the team is just trash. And we don't want to take that flyer with Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson has been to 2 Super Bowls, won. Russell Wilson has carried an offense before. Russell Wilson has been in this exact offense with our OC. Our OC knows this guy perfectly. Knew how he was developed. Knew where they developed him at. So it's not like he has to come in and he has to figure out, okay, what does Russ do good? What does he do? No, he already knows what Russ does good. He already knows what Russ does bad. He knows Russ up and down. He was there when they developed Russ as a rookie. To be from a rookie to Super Bowl winner to potential MVP, potential Super Bowl MVP, all that stuff. He's been through all his development. Russell Wilson and here's the cherry on the top. Russell Wilson would come super cheap. Super duper cheap. And Russell Wilson would be a guy where I can sit there and say that would be a franchise quarterback. And we don't have long. It ain't like Russ would have that much like, okay, we got another 10 years of Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson would be the perfect. Now let me say this. I have not liked what Russell Wilson looked like over there with the Broncos. It's not like I looked at Russell Wilson and was like, man, I wish we had Russell Wilson. I have not liked that at all. At all. But I'm going back to my roots. I am going back to everything that I said in this offseason. When we got Baker, I said, I seen what Dave Canellis has done with Geno. I believe he can do the same thing with Baker. And look, it looks like he did it with Baker. And if he did it with Baker, I am more than sure, way more confident that he could put Russ and make Russ look like the old Russ. I am way more confident than that. I am more confident that Dave Canellis can make Russ look like Seattle's Russ more than I am confident that Baker would look like the same Baker that we've had all year next year. Way more confident in that. Way more confident in that. So Russ would be cheap, right? Not only would Russ be cheap, Russ would be a 1-year deal, which is my biggest concern because I am hoping, and I am pretty sure, but I can't say we know for sure, but I am hoping that Jason Light's plan is to go into the draft and go get a quarterback. Either that, or I am hoping that Jason Light's plan is to go and maybe Kyle Trask next year. One or the other. I really don't care what the plan is. All I know is I hope the plan is not, I think Baker is our guy. I am hoping that that is not the plan. And again, I say that while saying thank you for everything you did, Baker. I appreciate you this year. You did well this year. But he has not shown me that he is someone that we need to go forward with. We need to, this is our guy. We don't have to look at the quarterback no more, the quarterback market no more. This is our guy. No, 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 no. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. I would even say this. Give me a 3-year guarantee, a 3-year Baker contract, and go bring in Russ for super cheap, and give them another quarterback, another quarterback competition. Go do that. Go do that. Again, I don't care about how many years we give Baker. I just care about the money. Please let that money be little. Go give me Baker. If we have to bring in Baker for 3 years, let that contract be like all in the front. So after this year, we can, excuse me, and then shoot, bring me 4 quarterbacks. Go draft me a quarterback, bring in Russ, get Baker, and we got Kyle Trask. Let them all fight. Let them all fight. I don't care who ends up where. Let them all fight. And if Baker beats out Russ, then Baker beats out. I really don't care. Let them all fight. I guarantee you Baker won't come off on top. Guarantee. Guarantee. But who knows? Maybe Baker surprises. I don't know. I doubt it. I'm pretty good with my thinking. But that's my whole point. Wilson fits. This is such a, and I want Buck fans to take this more than anything. Everything I said obviously is my opinion, but this is a fact, and I need Buck fans to understand this, because this is a fact, and this is what's true about the situation. Jason Light, one of the goats of all goats of GMs, has done it again. Whether you talk about young players that we have, Yaya and Kalijah and Durant, Mayock and Luke and K-Dot and Zion, and all these players that Jason Light has drafted, has done it again. Bringing in Baker for the low and winning the division and end up having the best quarterback in the division is a dub for Jason Light once again. Drafting a Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall of Fame Mike Evans as his first draft pick, Vita Vea, Carlton, Jamel, all these, it's all dubs for Jason Light. And Jason Light now sits in the offseason with another dub, because now he has options with Russell Wilson being on the market. He now has options. And I guarantee you, Russell would not want to go anywhere else but the Tampa Bay. He's ours if we want him. Just put it like that. He is ours if we want him. There is no way he is not looking at us like, I know Dave Canellis. I would love to have that Mike Evans. And I know they run that system that I like, how I like it. Now, people could push back with Russ being a locker room situation. That could be true. That could be true. That's my pump the brakes on Russell Wilson. Locker room situation. He, people in the locker room of Seattle didn't really like him. But that was the same thing with Baker. And I've told everybody we have a different type of locker room than everybody else. I think he could come into this locker room and be okay. That's one. Number two, same situation as Baker. You just got your butt humbled. You come in here humbled because the league just humbled you. You come in here humble and you work, and we'll bring you back to where you need to be to relevancy, just like we did for Baker. You come back, you're humbled. Let's go win us a championship. I believe we can win a championship with Russell. I truly believe we can win a championship. Now, do I think we're Super Bowl contenders? I would have to see that. But I think it's possible. I can believe that we can win a championship if the team is good enough. I believe we can win a championship with Russ. I definitely believe that. I would be able to believe that way easier. So we would have to see. But that's what he brings to the team. I don't know. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that fit perfectly with Russ. There's a lot of stuff. So we would have to see. But the main part that I wanted you guys to understand that I said is fact is Jason Light holds all the pieces now. Jason Light holds the pieces. Listen, Bake, we like you. We appreciate what you did for us. We would like you to come back. But it's got to be at this price. But, and I really would like that, to be honest with you, Russell Wilson and Baker Mayfield, come on. Russell Wilson and Baker Mayfield, come on, bro. Go at it at camp. Oh, man. I would love it. And we could do that because we have that type of culture. Nobody's safe. You ain't Tom Brady. Nobody's safe. Everybody's job starts training camp. Everybody's job's on the line. Let's go. You're not scared of quarterback competition, right? All right, let's go. Let's do this. Zach says the market won't be crazy for Baker, mainly because of all these quarterbacks coming out the draft. Will call in the building. And the Russell Wilson scenario is like to see the teams take a third, fourth round quarterback in draft. Jay Travis of FSU, similar quarterback to Wilson. I don't want a similar quarterback to Wilson. That's the thing. I do want to take a quarterback in the draft, right? But if we take a quarterback in the draft, that we feel is different. Don't take someone hoping that he's like this person. No. I want to take someone in the draft where I'm like, we're taking this person in the draft because he's him, right? That's the definition of him. He's him. Not because he's like Baker or because he's like Russell or because he's like, no. I don't need another Russell Wilson. There's Russell Wilson right there for the taking. What's the point in trying to get someone that could be like Russell Wilson when we can get Russell Wilson? What's the point? For dirt cheap. If we're going to go draft somebody in the quarterback, go give me someone in the quarterback that we believe is him. We drafted him because he's nice. He is him. He's himself, and he's nice. I like that guy. That's how I feel. Tony Lee in the building. Happy holidays, chat. Happy holiday, everybody. Tampa Bay Rays fan in the building. Just give Mayfield a 3-year contract, favorable deal. Have an opt-out clause after 1 year. Draft a quarterback in the 3rd or 4th round. I like quarterback Michael Pratt from Toulon. Now, I keep asking this to Buck fans, and no one answers me, and I do not understand why no one is answering me. Everyone keeps saying, go get a quarterback in the 3rd or 4th round. Why does nobody think that we cannot trade 2 first-rounders to go get a quarterback in the 1st round? Why is that so hard to believe? Am I tripping? We got 12 people watching. Am I tripping? Like, I don't understand. Why can't we give 2 first-rounders to get in the top 10? Put us somewhere in the Panthers gave up 2 first-rounders and a player to be the number 1 pick. Why can't we just give 2 first-rounders just to get in the top 5 or the top 10 and then pick a quarterback right there? I don't understand. I think that's what we're going to do. I think that's the game plan. I truly believe that's the game plan. And I don't even know. Jason Light might work some magic. I don't even know if we'll have to give 2 first-rounders, but You know what I'm saying? It might be 2 second rounders and get in the top 10 or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what Jason Light's magic he can work, but he knows about the how much it would cost to do that more than I do. Obviously, he's a genius at that stuff. But I don't understand why Buck fans feel like we have to, we have to wait in the second round to get our quarterback, or we have to wait in the third round to get our quarterback. Now, I know that people believe that we're going to be so far in the first round that it's better to wait and get the second round quarterback. I understand that, and I get that, because we'll be in the playoffs, so we'll be so far in the first round. But we don't have to stay back there in the first round. I don't understand why no one is talking about the fact that we can trade draft aspects to get up closer down into the top 10 of the first round and then draft our quarterback. Why is no one talking about us being able to do that? Can anyone shine light on that? Is there something that I am missing? Second royalty in the building says, nah, because y'all gonna be distraught when Baker wins that quarterback battle again. If he wins that quarterback battle again, bro, I can't. I would have to see it, right? I would have to see it, because again, I was distraught that he won the quarterback battle against Kyle Trask because of the things that I was seeing in training camp. And then when it went to preseason, Kyle Trask looked like the better quarterback. Kyle Trask looked like he was given more on his plate. He looked like they were asking Kyle Trask to do more than what they were asking Baker to do. And that's why I was distraught about Baker winning that competition. It wasn't that I don't want Baker to win the competition. I was mad because Baker won the competition. I was distraught because I felt like Baker didn't win that competition. He didn't look like the better quarterback. So if Baker wins the competition against Russ, and I still feel like, no, he doesn't look like the better quarterback, then of course I'm going to be distraught. I don't care who it is against. But if he wins the competition and Russ ain't looking good, I'm not going to be mad about it. That's the better quarterback. Go ahead. You know. He says pick up Russ and watch how the team falls apart. We're not a very soft team. Listen, if our team didn't fall apart after what we just went through, like, there's no way Russ will have our team fall apart. Trust me. Will Call says, I feel we need the picks to upgrade other positions. I don't like moving up in general. I'm a move back type of guy. Um, I agree with you. I agree with you. Unless two things. Unless one, it's a generational player, or two, it's a quarterback. Those are the only time that I will agree with moving up. Um, and even the generational player, I don't agree. Like, for instance, right? Bijan Robinson for the Falcons. Some people say he's a generational player, Bijan Robinson. I wouldn't have had a problem with them going up to get Bijan. I don't even know if they did go up to get Bijan, but I had a problem with them picking up Bijan in the first place because they already had running backs. And yeah, he's a generational player, but they already had 1,000-yard running back. So I don't agree with them getting him, you know? So when I say if there's a generational player, I agree, but only if I feel like it's a position of need. If it's a generational player and we got someone that's doing the job, he might not be a generational player, but he's doing the job. If it's not the quarterback position, then I get he's a generational player, but I rather build the rest of the roster than bring in someone that we already have someone doing a good enough job at, but he's a generational player, so let's bring him in. No, 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 no. We already got someone that's doing the job. Fill the rest of the roster. Fill the rest of the roster that has needs. So I only believe in moving in up and getting a pick is if it's for a quarterback or if it's for a generational player that fills a need. Then I believe in moving up. But I agree with you. I like the moving back type of guy more than anything. And um, to be honest, I'm more of a stay put guy. Stay put And then if not stay put, then I'd rather move back. And then if not move back, I'd rather go forward, right? Like that. Those are my, I don't like moving back because I don't like the whole, oh man, that was our guy, but we could have got him in the next round. Like, I don't believe in that. If that's your guy, go get him. I don't care what round he's projected in. Don't take the chance, you know? If everyone's projecting this guy 2 rounds down, okay, maybe I'll feel a certain type of way. But if it was like, oh, he was projected the next round, I'm not going to trust that he's going to be there next round. Like, forget that. Get him here. I'm all for it. Get your guy. He feels your need. You know you need him. He's perfect for what you want. Go get him right then and there. So that's how I am all the time. And then after that, I'm like, okay, if you can go back, I would rather you go back and get your guy. If you're more than sure you can do that, then yeah, I'm all about that. So I'm with you. I'm with you on the same thing, except I'm okay for doing that to go get our quarterback. The more picks, the better. I agree. But I will also say this. We're not a team that needs only picks. We get people from undrafted. You know what I'm saying? Free agency. Like, Jason Light is hitting everywhere. So it ain't like we super, super need those picks. If you're telling me that we sacrifice those picks for a quarterback, I'm all for it. Brian Clark in the building. What up, RTP? What up, Brian? Gotta say your opinion on Russ is bonkers, bro. Russ is a bust. You can't say Russ is a bust. You can't say Russ is a bust. He might be a system quarterback. You can say that. He's not what we thought, which was, Patrick Mahomes or I mean, pretty much Patrick Mahomes is the only one we can, and we can't really even say that about him because we really don't know. I'm trying to think, what is a quarterback that went that can go anywhere, and just because we don't really. Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins seems like a quarterback that can go anywhere. As much as I crap on, Dak Prescott, I think Dak Prescott can go to different places and be the same, because I don't think Dak Prescott is all that. The level of football that he's playing, I think he can go anywhere and play that in that system. I think a lot of these quarterbacks are like system heavy. And I think Wilson is the same way. I think Wilson, if he's in the system that fits him, which is our system, we know he can look back like that MVP caliber type of guy. So definitely can't say he's a bust. I am not sold on the Williams, May, Daniels trio, but I can see some hidden gems day two, like Penix, Nix, Pratt, and etc. Um, I have no idea. I have not. We'll get into that in the offseason. I have not looked into quarterbacks, which is probably the funnest position. Besides running back and wide receivers, quarterbacks is probably the funnest position to try to look up. Um, that and defensive end as well. I love watching defensive end tape. But quarterback got to be the top of the top. But the only thing is, you know, it sucks when you don't have your pick. So I might fall in love with someone that I know we have no chance of getting. I will say this: Williams. Listen, Williams is that guy, bro. I don't even watch college. I've seen so many highlights of Williams. I know Williams is that guy. The dude from USC, he's that guy. Now, mentally, I don't know. Mentally, there's some stuff that I'm worried about with Williams. But as far as talent, oh no, he's that dude for sure. For sure. He's made play. He's Patrick Mahomes level, that dude. Like, he's that guy. That doesn't mean that he can't be a bust in the NFL, because he can go to the wrong coach and they just not know how to use him, or not have the right team around him or whatever, and they kill his career. But if he goes to the right guy, I promise you, he's that dude. I know he's by far the most talented arm wise. Um, but mental wise, I don't know, man. All that crying and I'm not playing for the number one team. Whoever picks me, it gotta be a certain team, and all that meant that's a lot of mental stuff. A lot of mental stuff that could mean something that people might be ignoring. So I don't know about the mental side, but arm talent, yeah. Everybody else, I have not even dabbled in. I never even dabbled in Caleb. I just, every once in a while, I'm a USC guy, so every once in a while I'll see a game on and watch a few throws, and I'm like, yeah, that kid got it. But no one else. I have not looked at anybody, so I can't debate you on anything. I'll take a look, and that's gonna be fun on the off season. We'll watch some tape, and I'll give you my list of my number one guy I want, and whether we can have him or not, it won't matter. I'm gonna give you the list of all the guys in the order too. Brian Clark says Baker is our guy for the next 2 years at least. He will probably retire Evans. Watch, bro. I don't believe that at all. I don't think he'll be our guy for the next 2 years. I think maybe he'll be our guy for next year. I doubt very much the year after that he's gonna be our guy. I doubt very. I really I might as well say it now then, since there's 17 people watching. I might as well say it now. I again, I'm saying it because Jason Light thinks like me, big time, big time. If you've been following me since my old channel, my Real Talk Perez channel, you know that when I think a certain way, Jason Light's right there thinking the same thing. And I I do not believe in Baker being the guy. I truly believe that Baker will be the bridge next year. Next year, he will be the bridge, and in the middle of the season next year, I think either Kyle Trask, or if we picked up the quarterback, which that's what I truly believe is what we're doing. I think we're going to draft a quarterback. I truly believe we're going to draft a quarterback. I think that guy is going to be starting for us next year, in the middle of the year or towards the end of the year. One of the two. That's what I truly believe. I don't think Baker finishes out next year. I do not believe Baker finishes out next year. Um, I could be wrong, but again, I'm like 99.1% right with Jason Light. So so that's what I think. That's what I think Jason Light's plan is. I Again, in the beginning, and if you watch the preseason game, Jason Light's in the booth with Rondé Barber and the other announcer, and he's telling you guys, we have a plan. We have a plan. We have a plan. And I believe that was the plan the whole time. I think the plan was, let's see, we got Baker for cheap. He was a first rounder. Let's see if we got a franchise in Baker. I think we answered that already. I think we've got that answer. He's not the franchise guy. Now he's a guy that, hey, we can win with him. We can win the division. Or even we can bring in we could bring in the rookie, right? We could bring in the rookie, have Baker be the emergency guy, right? We can have him and see what the rookie looks like, right? Rookie looks like, oh, he should be the starter. Hey, now he has some hype. We can put him in there. And if things go wrong, break the emergency glass, bring in Baker. Let Baker, finish it out. Or, which I think is more realistic, see what we got in the rookie, right? Baker's our starter, so there's no pressure on the rookie. And let Baker do what we got to do. And as soon as we won't go into like the same losing skit that we did this year, that won't happen. Baker will be out. Baker will be out. There's no way that will happen. Baker will be out. Um, and throw in the rookie. And that's how it starts. I really think that's what the plan is. I really think that's what the plan is. But again, I could be wrong. Tampa Bay Rays fans says also in the first round, address it on inside linebacker, safety, or maybe a higher apparent of Evans, who has 3 good years left in him. No, I believe that the inside linebacker could be picked up in the first round. I mean the second round. We can get him in the second round. Honestly, I think we don't have to look for safety. I think Delaney has done enough. I really like Delaney. I don't think we're gonna settle on Delaney. I think we will draft maybe in the third or fourth round of safety. See if Delaney gets a spot taken, but I think Delaney's gonna be there for until we hit that safety spot. And the whole Mike Evans replacement, we don't have to do that yet. I'm praying to God we sign Mike Evans, right? So that'll give us another 3, 4, 5 years, whatever, with Evans. And wide receiver is the one spot where I believe we can get we can draft a wide receiver either the third, fourth round in all those years when we have Mike Evans under contract, right? All those years we can take flyers on wide receivers in the second round, in the third round, in the fourth round, and hope that we get Mike Evans's replacement. I don't think we have to use a first rounder for Evans's replacement. Now, if we're back at the end of Evans's contract, right, and we know, like, he's done, he's probably going to retire or whatever, then, and we still haven't found his replacement, then we can use that first round. But that's years down the road. So right now, I think we can use that first rounder to go get our quarterback, right? We can use right now, if we bring back Levante looks like he can play another year. We bring back Levante, we sign Devin. We got Servassier for any backup. We got depth there for Servassier. Servassier should learn Devin's role, right? Or if we don't sign Devin, if we don't sign Devin, Servassier can learn Devin's role. If we do sign Devin, then Servassier doesn't need to learn Devin's role because we already have Devin for that position, and he can just continue to get better at Levante's role. And so the inside linebacker, it all depends on who we sign. But as far as right now, this team, the only position that is worth a first rounder, right? There's only one position. There's two positions. There's only two positions that is worth signing for a first rounder right now. That if we sign a first rounder, it's got to be one of these two positions. It's either got to be a quarterback or it's got to be an edge rusher. It's one or the other. That is it. Using our first round is not worth any other position besides the quarterback or the edge rusher. That is the only two positions that we got to use that first round for. If we don't use that first, I'm not even going to say if we don't, because I know we are. I'm right. Trust me. I know. I'm Jason Light. Believe me. It's going to be a quarterback or an edge rusher. We have to have an edge rusher. We have to get this D-line better. It has to get better. We have to replace Shaq Barrett. I don't think Shaq Barrett comes back next year unless we do something with his contract where he comes for cheap, because I think Shaq Barrett is done. I'm hoping that I'm wrong because I love Shaq Barrett. I appreciate Shaq Barrett. I love his story, everything. And I would love for him to come back for super cheap and then I'm hoping that his injury just gets better. But Shaq Barrett's saying, and I believe him, he's saying that he's not scared of his injury. It's not like he has to get back to being confident in his ankle, in his Achilles or anything like that. Like, he's confident already. Like, he doesn't show me that he's not confident. So I think it's just age and he's just not the same. I think he's just over. It's done. Unfortunately, I say that with all the love. I love Shaq Barrett. I just think it's over. So I think we don't bring him back next year, and I think we have to hit in the draft. We have to get an edge rusher to get Shaq Barrett. It has to happen. So that's what I think. I think it's either going to be first round quarterback, second round edge rusher, or first round edge rusher, second round quarterback. Got to be one of those. Got to be one of those. Got to be something like that. Professor X says Lamar Jackson was passed up by everyone until the last pick of the first. Jalen Hurts was passed up by everyone until the second round. 100%. My point is, a good QB can be chosen at any time, any point in the draft. Yes, if he's there. If he's there, that's the problem I have. I'm not saying that we can't get the quarter, because again, you guys got to remember, I'm going to go through my quarterbacks and I'm going to list them, not where I believe what round they should go in. I'm going to list them. This is my number one choice. And then after that, this is my second choice. Then after that, this is my third choice. And after that, this is my fourth choice. That doesn't mean those guys that I pick are going to go in the first round or the second round. My second choice, because I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Caleb Williams is going to be my first choice because I think that dude is nasty with it. But again, I haven't really watched him, and I haven't really watched anybody else. So my opinions could change. I doubt it, but it could change. It very much could change because I really haven't watched any quarterback. But that doesn't mean that my second choice that I want in quarterback couldn't be some dude that they're projected to be in the fourth round. It could be that. I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't like watching when people project this guy going here, because it might subconsciously affect how you feel about that quarterback. It might give you some feel of, oh, I already feel like I'm not going to like him or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So So I just watch tape myself, and I do see where they project them, because I got to see who are the quarterbacks that I should be watching. So I got to watch, like, okay, these are the quarterbacks that are going to be in the draft. But yeah, you're completely right. It could be, I could be in love with a quarterback that they're projecting in the fourth or fifth round, or the third round, or the second round. So we can definitely get them. And if that's the case, then how I feel about how we go about the draft could change, you know. But as of right now, I'm just giving you my training of thought right now. We agree, if the quarterback you want is there, or a pass rusher, I say move up. But all the other positions start. Take your guy, or uh, nice back, move back. I think you're trying to say a Wilson Mayfield quarterback comparison would put Bucs on Hard Knocks. A Wilson Mayfield quarterback comp would put Bucs on Hard Knocks. It can't, though, because we would be in the playoffs. You can only be in the Hard Knocks if you didn't make the playoffs. I think you have to miss the playoffs 2 years in a row to be on Hard Knocks. But that would be that would be clean, though. That would be clean, though. Oh, Hard Knocks with them on it. Oh man, oh man, that'd be nasty. I'd rather keep what we have in Baker and Trask at least for another year until we strengthen all of our weakness spots. 100. What everyone keeps forgetting is we will have to be drafting Evans' replacement soon. Again, not if we get and here's the thing. Here's the thing. I rather draft a quarterback, right? And get the quarterback prepared, and then get Mike Evans' replacement. Because if you get Mike Evans' replacement, right, and then you get the quarterback, now you're putting it on the quarterback to develop that wide receiver. But that wide receiver might need to develop that quarterback. That's the difference. That's why I rather go quarterback and then wide receiver. For instance, if we get a quarterback right now, Mike Evans can develop that quarterback. Mike Evans can give that young rookie quarterback confidence into making certain throws. The separation to get used to the NFL windows. You know what I'm saying? Mike Evans will make it so easy for our quarterback that it'll uh it'll give him confidence in all the stuff that he needs to get used to the NFL. But if we go get us a someone to replace Mike Evans, and then Mike Evans is gone, and then we go get that quarterback, that wide receiver might not be good enough to do what Evans would have did for our quarterback. And now our quarterback is struggling because he might have more confidence in Chris Godwin, not as much confidence as the other guy. But I'd rather have the young quarterback to where he has confidence in Chris Godwin, confidence in Mike Evans, and they can groom our quarterback. And then when we get that other wide receiver, he can tell that wide receiver, hey, you're supposed to do it like this. I know, because Mike Evans was doing it like this. He's supposed to do it like this. You're supposed to run the route like this. I want you to run the route like this because that's how Mike Evans ran the route. Does that make sense? I'd rather groom our rookie or second year quarterback with a Mike Evans than trying to groom a wide receiver with a Baker Mayfield. You know, like, I'd rather do that. Don't be surprised if Light trade down in the draft for more capital. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think he does that. He doesn't do that this year. You guys got to also understand we have a lot of players we have a lot of draft picks already. That's the other part that I think you guys are not understanding. We have a lot of draft picks on the team already. Like, we have a lot of we like our starters. We like our O-line. We like our running back. We like our wide receiver. We like everybody. The only positions that we're not ready to say that we like is our D-line. And we like Yaya. We like Kalijah. There's a lot of contracts that Jason Light is looking forward and wants to pay already, that we like already. We can't afford to have a whole bunch of draft picks come in again. Like, we can't just say, oh, more draft picks, come on in. No. We need to have less draft picks this year. We need to have less draft picks. We can't afford to have a whole bunch of draft picks and then develop those guys and then hope that those. No. We need some veterans. We need to bring in some veterans. We need to have we can't have all those draft picks. It's too many draft picks. It's not realistic. It's not realistic. Not only that, but to then have to worry about these youngsters being our depth again. Like we're not doing that again. So I know Jason loves to go back, and he might go back in like the third or fourth round, like that type of stuff. But first, second round, I don't see him going back. I see him. They're going to be very aggressive in this draft. I think we're going to give up draft picks in this draft because we can't afford to have a whole bunch of draft picks again. Don't be read that. Tony Lee in the building. What are we going to do with Shaq contract? We talked about that. I think Shaq's done after this year. We need a tackle. We need a tackle. We're good with our tackles. Devin is a money guy, not a team guy. I don't see him coming back. Like you say, one game doesn't change my mind about a player, but I think it's his last year. Jason Light. One game doesn't change my opinion about a player either. My opinion about Devin has been he's a game changer when he's on the field. That's never been a problem for me. Like that's never been something that I thought maybe he's not a game changer. I've always known he's a game changer. That's never been a thing for me. My problem with Devin is the attitude. My problem with Devin is are we going to get his 100% every year after we pay him? That's what scares the crap out of me. That's the part that I'm scared of. I like Yaya. Hopefully he doesn't have a sophomore slump. Nelson and JTS is average. Edge rushers maybe in free agency market. Yeah, I hope he doesn't either. He has to develop. Seth Alexander says Mike Evans doesn't want to play with a rookie QB. I don't think Mike Evans cares. Mike Evans don't care if it's a rookie QB or whatever. None of that matters. Uh, no, I agree. What I'm saying is the next 2 years, 3 years, it will be the time to replace 13. So I'm saying we have to draft smart, like getting our secondary and defense. We will see. I mean, people act like Mike Evans is super old. Like Mike Evans is like he has. I think he has more than 3 years in him. Like we're gonna give him those type of contracts, but I think we're gonna have Mike Evans a lot longer than people think. I see your assessment on drafting a quarterback first, then address wide receiver. Remember, Light drafted Evans in 2013, then drafted Jameis in 2015, and Jameis had to learn to throw to Evans. Yeah, but that's because that's a different. That wasn't by choice. Seth Alexander says pay Baker a 3-year deal, start for 2 years, then go get the quarterback, build more around then. Get the no, heck no, heck no, 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 no. Listen, you guys got to understand this. The contracts, the team is. I listen. I don't know where you guys are getting this. Like, build the team. The team is here. I need you guys to understand this. The team is here. Like the team is here already. I don't know if you guys think that our team is gonna look so much different in 2 and 3 years. It's not. It's not. We have the team. We might lose Jamel. We might lose Carlton. We have Zion. There's gonna be someone behind him. We might not. It might be Zion, Jamel, and Carlton for a while. We got Antoine for a while. We're probably going to have D. Delaney unless someone comes replaces him in the next year or two. If not, it's going to be him. Those are safeties. Secondary, boom, it's done. Secondary is done. Inside linebacker, Devin Servassier at minimum. We're probably going to have Levante. And when we don't have Levante, we're going to draft somebody else. That way we got another backup. So that's one draft, an inside linebacker that we're probably bringing in sometime, somewhere. Okay. Then you got the D line, right? We're probably going to draft for the D line. If not, we're probably going to bring in a free agent for the D line for the edge rusher, right? I can see that. Besides that, you got Yaya, you got Kalijah, you got Vita. I know people don't like Logan, but Logan's actually being good. Logan's actually doing really well this year. He is really doing well. For the position he plays, Logan's actually doing really well. He is ascending better than JTS was ascending for his position. A lot of times you see people get sacked and Logan Hall is right there. And for the position that Logan Hall plays, he's not supposed to be there. So Logan Hall is actually doing really well. We're pretty much set on the D line. We just need that edge rusher. Then you go to the offense. You got freaking Mike, Chris, and you got Trey Palmer. Okay? I can see us maybe drafting another wide receiver. O-line, our O-line is set. People don't like Hainsey. Let me tell you something. They love Hainsey. Our O-line is set, guys. We're not replacing nobody. That we might replace Stinney. Besides that, we're not replacing nobody. Tristan Wirfs, Luke Gedeke, they're not going nowhere. Mayock is not going nowhere. Hainsey is not going nowhere. And at minimum, it's going to be Stinney. If not, we replace him with a draft pick, but that's it. Our team is set, guys. Like, there's not this big rebuilding team. The only part that's really rebuilding is the backup for Rashad, or even someone to take Rashad's spot, because that's, running backs, their shelf life is very low. And quarterback. That is the only position. Quarterback, running back, left guard, edge rusher, safety, and inside linebacker. Those six positions, and we can literally go with who we got right now as starters. Let's see. Besides quarterback and defensive end. Out of those six positions, two positions, quarterback and defensive ends, are the only positions where we need a new starter right now. All those other positions, I would not be surprised if they're the starter next year. It goes quarterback and defensive end. Obviously, quarterback Baker Mayfield more than likely is going to be the starter next year, but that's not the guy. We know that that's going to get replaced. Defensive end needs to be replaced. We need to have somebody else on the other side of Yaya. It needs to be upgraded. We know that for sure. D. Delaney could be upgraded. Could be. And Stinney could be upgraded. Maybe. That's it. That's really it. There is not much else. So this whole thing of I'm getting this feel from everyone in the chat, like, oh, we got this whole plan to rebuild the roster. I don't think you guys understand. That's not the plan. This is the roster. This is the roster. Those six positions are positions where we'll either replace by a free agent or get ready to replace with a rookie. Besides that, we're set. They like these guys. And they believe that we can build and get better with these guys. And I don't blame them. I like them too. So there's not no build around the quarterback later. Like the team is built now. That's why we need the quarterback now, because you need a young quarterback on a rookie contract while the rest of the team is built. That is the whole game plan. The rest of the quarterback is built, and it's already built right now. We just got to give everybody the contracts. I love White, but like you just said, he plays when he wants. So to me, that's a cancerous tumor that needs to be cut before he infects the rest of the locker room. He's got that AB mentality. Yes. The only thing is, if our team is built the way we think we could build this team, we won't have to worry about his attitude, because we'll be on a contending run. So that's the thing. With White, that's the only grace that I have, or only comfort that I have about getting White, is that if we get White, I feel like everybody else is built, right? We have the quarterback. We're ready to go. We're contending. We're going to the playoffs. We're knocking people out in the playoffs and hoping we can get to the Super Bowl again. If we're that type of team, White's going to be engaged. White's going to be ready to play. Like, it just is what it is. Not only that, but I am also hoping that this whole KJ Britt situation woke him up to realize, hey, anybody, including you, can be replaced. I don't know if it did do that, especially after him having the game he just had, but that's what I'm hoping on. So I do feel like this team is ready to like be a problem. This team is ready to be a problem in the NFL, not just the NFC South. We're already a problem in the NFC South because the NFC South is trash. In the NFL, we're ready to be a problem next year if we do the right, if we are able to sign everybody, and then our contracts are good enough to where we can find a great free agency. And on the other side of Yaya, we can be a problem. And then I think Devin, as long as we're in contending mode, I think we won't have a problem with Devin, hustling or none of that stuff. I do, I'm not disagreeing with you with what you're saying. All I'm saying is he's such a factor on the field. I think we give him a contract. I still worry about us giving him a contract, but I'll feel a little bit better if we're contending because I feel like he's going to give his all if everybody's contending and we got a contending team. Inside linebacker it's the same thing with Carlton. I feel the same thing with Carlton now. If we're not contending, I feel like he's going to play like crap. Inside linebacker is thin. Russell, Dennis, Levante David, and possible losing White. Britt is another mentor that is nice depth piece. Address the left guard to compete with Stenny. Tight end Otten is solid, and I love to see more Durant. Yes, I agree with you. Um, I agree with you with inside linebacker being thin. I just think that Levante is going to come back next year, and because of that, I don't think that we have to draft uh, inside linebacker high this year. I think the next year for sure. Now, again, if we don't sign Devin, then you're gonna see us draft an inside linebacker because we're gonna need some more depth, you know, or maybe even Devin's replacement, Um, but if we sign Devin and Levante comes back, then I don't think we have to worry about the depth of inside linebacker until the following year after that. Um, so yeah. Gilly's in the building. Saints gonna get revenge tomorrow. I doubt it. Y'all ain't ending us. We ain't going down without a fight. I like your spirit though. Tampa Bay Rays fan says I like Delaney and Merriweather, but could use another piece at the spot. We'll see. We'll see how they grow. And another thing Buck fans have to understand, man, is we've seen it time after time after time again. Zion McCollum. No one will complain if Zion McCollum is our starter next year. Nobody will complain. In fact, I think everybody loves Zion right now more than anybody else, any other corner that we have, right? No one was feeling like that the year before. So again, this is another reason why I try to tell you Buck fans, I think you guys might think we're in more of a building mode than we are because I think a lot of our coaches are looking at this like we have everybody we want. We just got to build it now. We just got to build them up. I think they like Delaney. I think they like Merriweather, or however you say his name. Delaney took a while to get where he's at right now. Merriweather might pass up Delaney after 1 year. Like a lot of these youngsters that we have a lot of youngsters, undrafted drafts, all that stuff. A lot of youngsters that we don't know who's going to take that leap next year in the offseason, in training camp. And I think that Jason Light and Bowles, I think they are not looking at this team like, oh, we need. I think they're looking at this team like, okay, I think we got it. Let's see the leap that we take next year, and then we'll go from there. So that's why I'm like, I don't think we need all these draft picks like people think. I think a lot of these people they're looking at like Merriweather, look at our nickel. I can't think of his name right now. Izian. Look at our nickel, like undrafted. Like we got. I don't think we're in need of players as much as people believe. I said it before. I said injuries could be a problem for us because we don't have depth. Now we have a whole bunch of talent as depth, but they're inexperienced. So our roster is full of talent. They just don't got no experience. So because of that, the depth is bad because they don't have experience. But let them get experience, which a lot of these players have been getting experience. Let that talent start raising to the top. We'll see what we have. And again, I don't think we're as bad as I don't think we need as many draft picks as people think. Bro, I promise you, Light is not getting a quarterback back in the draft. A quarterback in the draft. He goes center, pass rush, and linebacker in this draft. Promise you are wrong with your whole line of thinking. I guarantee you I'm not. Professor says, only thing that's going to change is us winning more. Like you're saying, the core is there. We're just missing those final pieces. 100. Travis Henry is a free agent next year. Travis Henry. Travis Henry. Who's? Oh, okay. Derrick Henry. No, no, no. We're not getting that. We're not picking up anybody that's had his career already. We're not doing that. We're not picking up anybody in free agency that's had a career. We're picking up people in free agency where their career is just about to start. We're picking up we're picking up somebody's Jordan Whitehead, right? We're picking up somebody's Jordan Whitehead, somebody's Mike Edwards, somebody that did good on their team, but just wasn't the best on their team, so they got paid. They wasn't what's the word I'm looking for? They wasn't prioritized in free agency, so they ended up leaving the team because they weren't prioritized in free agency. That's who we're picking up. We're picking up those type of free agencies. If we're picking up any free agencies, we're not picking up anybody that's had a career and now it's like the back end, and we're not doing that. Pass rush, maybe at pass rush. I think we should be very desperate at pass rush, at edge, at the edge rusher. Yaya is defensive rookie of the year, baby. 6 sacks with 2 games left. Maybe. No AB attitude and White. He been hurt, and his shortcoming in the position just showed White makes defense look different when healthy. Oh yeah, for sure. The whole his AB attitude is not on the field. His AB attitude is off the field. Not off the field like in the real world. Just contract money wise. And again, we've seen him lollygag. He's admitted it. He's lallygagged on the field a few times. He knows he can't do that. I was just effing with you. The Henry comment. Okay, I was gonna say, clack white, clickety clack in the building says, I want first round Turner, second round Bullard, then O line, D line. I don't know who any of those people are, but we'll see. Right now is not the time for draft. If you guys are just here, I know we've been talking a lot of draft right now, and this is not what this was for. But the draft has come up because I said the plan that I believe that Jason Light has envisioned, and the reason why I think we do what I think we're going to do with Baker. And I've brought in the situation with Wilson because, and now watch what I say. All your content creators, all the Buccaneers content creators are going to start talking about this. Watch what I say. Watch what I say. They're going to start talking about Russell Wilson. They're going to watch this and they're going to be like, oh man, he had a good stream with that. Let's talk about it. And they're going to bring it up now. But anyways, um, yes, I made my point of why we're talking about Russell Wilson. It is a valid point. I think there's a reason why I put Jason Light in the picture, in the thumbnail of this video, and a bag of money. All this plays a part. There's a big reason. There is a big plan. There's a big goal. If you haven't yet, go back and watch the beginning of this video so you understand why we were talking about Russell Wilson, why we were talking about Baker Mayfield, and who Jason Light should pay, and what I think the game plan is going to be, and what I think is actually could happen, and what I'm hoping would happen. Professor X says, I know you love Rachaad White. He is looking better as he gets Dave's offense down more. Um, I really don't love Rachaad White. I just think he's good. He's not like how I felt when we had Cadillac Williams. Like I loved Cadillac Williams. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't feel like that with Rachaad White. I just think he's a really good player. I don't think he's like all that. I do think he's underrated when you talk about dumping it off and him in space. He's definitely underrated. But I'm not mad if the Bucs decide to get another running back. Like as a running back, he is not. I'm not in love with him. Like, oh, we gotta leave him alone. He got to be the starter. Like, I'm not. Like, I just think he's a really good running back, and I think he's the best we got right now. Turner, edge, Bama, Bullard, safety, GA. Okay, yeah. A lot of people keep. I don't know how many times I got to tell you guys, man. We don't draft safeties high like that. Like Todd Bowles doesn't need a second round safety. Buck fans keep doing this every year. They think we're gonna draft a safety high. We're not drafting a safety high. We do not use our draft picks for high safeties. Like we don't do that, bro. We don't do that. Um, we can find our safeties in the third, fourth round. What draft was Antoine Winfield in? I mean, what round was Antoine in? Let me see. Antoine Winfield Jr. Sorry, I was muted. I was talking the whole time. But yeah, he was in the second round. I seen it. Um, I don't think we do that again, bro. Like I don't think we're gonna do that again. We're gonna get two second round safeties. The only first three games with 100-yard rushing by a rookie, the caddy was good until he got hurt. Yeah, that Cadillac was my guy, man. That was one of my favorite players. So go back if you haven't seen the beginning of this where we talk about Russ, where we talk about Baker and Jason Light all together. If you haven't, go back and watch this. I gotta go spend some time with my baby. I'll see you guys next time I see you. It's your man RTP Skull Gang in the building, man. We got a game. We got a game tomorrow. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys after the game for sure. You know, I'll see you guys. Deuce.